Let's have another cool video, a sneak peek of the top 10 best scenes from Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender Volume 3. If you are watching this video, please take a second to hit the like button, it really helps us a lot. Also hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification. 1. Coup attempt against Fire Lord Ozai. Zuko's father, Fire Lord Ozai, is the target of a coup attempt at the beginning of the episode, but his daughter Azula stops it. This scene is significant for two reasons. First of all, it presents Azula, who despises her brother, appears to take great pleasure in seeing others burn alive, and is more than willing to plot in order to achieve her goals. However, it also demonstrates how pro-Avatar enthusiasm is starting to spread even within the Fire Nation, which is another reason why Aang poses such a threat to Ozai.
Who has returned to us?
The one who's...
What do you have? Just.
2. Zuko vs Azula Battle of the Rightful Heir. With the assistance of a young woman who works inside the palace, a group of civilians in the Fire Nation prepare an assassination attempt on Fire Lord Ozai. After making it to the throne room, the gang is confronted by guards and made to surrender. The young woman identifies herself as Azula, the princess of the Fire Nation and Ozai's daughter. After killing the gang, Ozai demands that the guards depart. Zuko has discovered the Avatar, as shown by the memo he gives Azula that he got from Commander Zhao. Azula panics at the news, thinking Zuko would take her place as the heir.
Yeah, well, I'll deal with this first in line to be Fire Lord. He has hope. What can you do about it? There are always ways to get in the game. Has returned.
3. Aang meets another airbender, Teo scene. Aang sees an airbender passing above the Earth Kingdom city of Omashu while he is riding on Appa. After pursuing the enigmatic airbender with his glider, Aang discovers that Teo, the little child, is truly an airbender and utilizes a mechanical glider to soar. Teo discloses that Fire Nation agents have entered the city when an explosion occurs close by. When Teo brings Aang, Katara, and Sokka to his house, they meet Teo's father Sais, also referred to as the Mechanist, who gives the monarch of Omashu blueprints for future technological developments.
He's responsible for maintaining everyone in Omashu as dedicated as you. Right, of course.
Well, I mean, look at this. Those are powered ingenious. I should have done that with our kayak raft.
I swear, amazing things were created. It's about helping people.
4. Katara meets Jet, Pipsqueak and Longshot, the Robin Hood Freedom Warriors. When Katara observes Sais meeting with a Fire Nation spy, things start to go wrong. Suddenly, Jet shows there and accuses her of being a traitor who has been selling ideas and secrets to the Fire Nation.
Working for the Fire Nation.
I try not to think about it, but...
Jet is the leader of a band of Robin Hood-like freedom fighters that are stationed in the forest. Among his companions are the gigantic Pipsqueak and the archer Longshot. He takes Katara to their treehouse hideout and shows her to his team, which includes the brash the Duke, the archer Longshot, the knife master Smellaby, and the brawler Pipsqueak. Jet, who reminds her of her mother, assists Katara in developing her waterbending abilities even further. Jet discloses that the Fire Nation murdered his family when he was 8 years old.
Just haven't been able to track us here. In the old days, the city stood strong. Fire Nation seeped in through the cracks. Not us, then who? We're orphans. It's usual.
5. Sokka and Katara meet Turnip Farmer. Katara and Sokka are aided in their attempt to enter the city by a turnip farmer who lets them in on the pretense of being his assistants. The turnip farmer informs Katara that Omashu is a deadly place once they get in the city. The turnip farmer's ropes, which aided them in entering Omashu, and blasting jelly are discovered in a cave near the summit of the mountains where Aang and Teo glide the next day. When Katara discovers that Sais is providing ideas to a firebender, she is going to question him about it when the turnip farmer stops her.
Would you like to try one of
Not right now. Through the whole city. People...
You again? Powered ingenious. I should have done that with our kayak raft.
6. Sais and the Fire Nation spy scene. When Teo brings Aang, Katara, and Sokka to his house, they meet Teo's father Sais, also referred to as the Mechanist, who gives the monarch of Omashu blueprints for future technological developments.
And I remember live.
You pretend like you don't care what's going on.
That's just an experiment.
I know how. It's your airbender.
Help me with the airship.
I still need to fix...
Katara observes Sais meeting with a Fire Nation spy. Things start to go wrong. Suddenly, Jet shows there and accuses her of being a traitor who has been selling ideas and secrets to the Fire Nation. She follows Jet as he follows the Fire Nation spy and gets into fights with his buddies since she has no reason not to believe this.
He's a coward.
Who are you?
7. Jet and his warriors vs Fire Nation spy fight scene. It's unfortunate that this is settled around 30 seconds later since it hides any evidence of the group quarrel. When Jet's guilt is eventually exposed, Sais' communication with the spy remains unexplained. Regardless, Jet admits that he has planted a bomb on Sais with the goal of detonating both Sais and the King of Omashu, who he is now seeing.
Really? Who will attacking that flame?
To have a waterbender on our side.
Where's he taking him?
8. Sokka and Katara stops the bombing riding the Omashu delivery system. Aang informs Katara that he has discovered Jet's blasting jelly and deduces that he is the bomber. However, Sais is assumed to be accountable by Katara since she saw him with a Fire Nation spy. Furious that nobody takes her word for it, Katara rushes to track down Jet, who confesses to being behind the bombs and that his next target will be the king with a device he swapped Sais for and put in a bag. When Katara orders Aang and Sokka to stop Jet, the three sprint to do it, but Zuko shows up and starts fighting Aang. After using Omashu's delivery system to reach the palace, Katara and Sokka employ the water whip maneuver to foil Longshot's fiery arrow, preventing it from setting off the bomb and killing the Monic. 9. Aang vs Prince Zuko fight in the city. After Aang clashes with Zuko and admits that he knows the latter has been pursuing him for 3 years, Zuko concludes that Aang has stolen his notebook. After becoming enraged, Zuko starts bending fire, forcing people to escape the city. Aang battles Zuko, with true choreography and physicality. This battle is my favorite of the series so far since it relies less on CGI. Additionally, there's a little amount of character as Aang asks Zuko why he's so determined to catch him, and it's evident that Zuko hasn't given anything any thought. Zuko and Aang fight, but in order to protect himself from the Earth Nation, Zuko cannot use firebending. Zuko starts to set fire to himself and has to run away when Aang admits that he has read his journal. 10. Aang and Iroh detained. To get the soldiers to move away from Zuko, Iroh freely firebends. Unexpectedly, warriors from Earth Nation grab Aang. Nevertheless, near the conclusion of the show, mayhem breaks out as Zuko overuses his firebending powers, attracting the notice of the Earth Kingdom military, who detain Aang in the process while Zuko manages to escape.